Now, Zimbabwe holds elections every 5 years to elect councillors, members of parliament, MPs, and the president. In between the election cycle, by-elections may be conducted to fill in vacancies arising within the National Assembly and local authorities. Now, upon a seat falling vacant, by-elections are supposed to be conducted within 90 days to fill in the vacancy. By-elections were last conducted in 2019 as they were indefinitely suspended from early 2020, and that's of course because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And on 5 January 2022, through Proclamation 1 of 2022 contained in Statutory Instrument 2 of 2022, President Emmerson Mnangagwa set 26 March 2022 and 26 January 2022 as the dates for holding of by-elections and the sitting of the nomination courts for these by-elections. 118 candidates are battling it out tomorrow, and of these, 102 are male and 16 are female candidates. Welcome to State of the Nation. I am Owen Kaura. This program is brought to you by ZanuPf's television network in partnership with the Southern African Parliamentary Support Trust, that's SAPST. And our topic of discussion today, March 26 by-election, who will rule the roost? And I'm sure that's a question that most of you want answered. And of course, in studio today, we've got the main political parties. And to discuss this topic, we have from ZanuPf, Tafadzwa Mugwadi, Director of Information. Tafadzwa, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and hello all Zimbabweans viewing us from all corners of the world.
Great. And from CCC, we have Gift Ostallos Siziba, and he is the Deputy Spokesperson. Gift, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother.
Great. And on the line, we have Witness Dube, National Spokesperson, MDCT Alliance. Witness? We certainly hope that technology is going to be our friend today. Witness, if you can hear us, please do confirm that you are on the line. All right. We also have Eva Joy Chilindi, spokesperson for the lead party. Eva Joy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. How are you, Zimbabwe?
Great, excellent. It looks like in that case, technology is being our friend. And of course, once we get a hold of Witness, then Witness will also join in the conversation. And we've got just 1 hour to go through this discussion topic, and I'll be asking our guests to make sure that we respond with respect. Now, I'll start with you, Tafadzwa. From a very simple place, critics have argued that ZanuPf is fully aware that they might not win these elections, but are using these elections to keep up the momentum and preparing for 2023. Those are some of the critics. What do you have to say about that?
Well, thank you very much. I think what is important is for me to characterize these by-elections. It is important that you know the nature of these by-elections in terms of what exactly are they in the context that we have now. The context is that these by-elections are happening within the traditional hunting ground of the opposition, which opposition split arising as a result of inherent squabbles. Then there's MDC Alliance, and now we are aware there is another faction of the MDC Alliance called the CCC. But you know that they recalled each other. We had lost these these by-elections. In fact, we had lost these constituencies, rather, in 2018, general elections. And we had lost them to the opposition. That means the terrain was not favorable to us. That we cannot deny. It is a fact. So for anyone then to say that ZanuPf will lose this, it's actually not a question of whether ZanuPf loses these by-elections or not. It is a question of what inroads does ZanuPf make in these constituencies which were not inherently ours. They belong to the opposition. They squabbled. They recalled each other from parliament. They created a space. And as ZanuPf, under the mantra that no one and no place must be left behind by President Emmerson Mnangagwa, we are saying we are entering the towns buoyantly, confidently, and with a desire to win back constituencies for development. You know that, of course, in Harare, if you want to talk about Harare, if you want to talk about Blawa, if you want to talk about the major cities in this country, the legacy of failure of the MDCC faction cannot be dispelled by any right-thinking Zimbabwean. Despite that, some have tried to come to hide behind a finger by changing names one after the other in order to dodge a responsibility, to dodge a legacy of failure. The truth is that Zimbabweans know that the people they voted in 2018 who did nothing except engaging in corrupt deals, land deals, if it is councils, if it is MPs, they abandoned the constituencies and people were living like political orphans because they didn't have sufficient representation. It is a fact. So yes, we know that this was an opposition territory, but we are coming in unapologetically to win back constituencies for development, because the urban renewal agenda requires us to start to take people of the urban, to take urban dwellers very seriously, rather than say, no, they are under the leadership and armpit of the opposition, let the opposition take responsibility because they are the ones elected. No, we are saying no one must be left behind, no place must be left behind, everyone must be taken on board in terms of development.
And on that note, he brings in an issue which he says they are making inroads. And of course, he says you have already been in the majority in most of these constituencies. You had already won as the opposition, whether it was MDC Alliance, MDCT, or CCC back then, or now, well, CCC now. So, Gift, my question is, do you feel this will be a victory for the opposition, or is just a restoration of the same order?
Thank you very much. Our state facts is there. Number one, this by-election, we're a new political organization. This by-election, we are going there, we don't have a seat in parliament. I'm happy that you've got a speaker on behalf of the other opposition party, the MDC or the MDC Alliance, as they would call themselves. The Citizens Coalition for Change announced its entry. You were aware, you were part and parcel of the press conference that announced our entry into the political market in this country. We don't have a single member of parliament. We don't have a single councillor in this town or in rural areas. What is going to happen tomorrow? And I'm happy that ZanuPf, as a political organization, has accepted that it is going for a thorough whip in this election, because scientifically there is proof beyond any doubt in the pre-poll environment that we are winning majority of the seats. We have 0 seats in parliament. We have 0 seats in local government. We are going there to create the first form or the first crop of leaders that are going to be part and parcel of our next government as a Citizens Coalition for Change. There is no doubt. Our predictions are very clear. We are winning the majority of seats, not just in urban areas, but also in rural areas. Again, it's also a clear a sign that we are going to harvest much. We are going to have the majority of people who are going to emerge victorious. There are machinations, there are shenanigans that obviously they are going to attempt, but definitely I can show you and I can tell you without any shadow of a doubt that we are going to emerge victorious as a new political organization formed a few months ago. We are going to gain majority of seats in parliament. We are going to also gain majority of seats in local council. So the question around the MDC or in its various forms can be answered by my other brother who's there on behalf of that particular political organization.
Now, speaking about your other brother who is representing the MDC Alliance, or MDCT as it were, Witness, are you now on the line? Well, our producers are telling me that Witness is still not on the line, so we're frantically trying to get a hold of Witness. But the good thing, we also have from the lead party, we've got Everjoy, and Everjoy has confirmed that she is indeed on the line. Now, of course, Everjoy, you're also participating for the very first time in these elections. How prepared are you as a party? And of course, you're a candidate as well in Masvingo. How prepared are you? Everjoy?
Hello?
Yes, Everjoy. Did you hear that question?
Hello?
We can hear you loud and clear. So please go ahead if you heard the question, please.
Yeah. Okay, are you hearing?
Everjoy, we can hear you loud and clear.
Hello?
Please go ahead with your response.
Okay, so as a party, we are very much prepared for these elections, and I can many of us are women, and we are investing in the by-elections. We are one of the few 16s that you mentioned.
Well, it's
as
very
a-
unfortunate that technology
the
is not
problem.
being our friend. Unfortunately, Everjoy, we'll have to sort out your connection that side. It's very poor and we really cannot hear what you are saying. So unfortunately, until we get our connections sorted out, we'll have to stay in the studio for now. Do you agree, gentlemen?
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And
Great.
people must have an attitude of coming to interviews when they know that technology cannot be a good savior for them. It's important. It's a respect.
Respect. That's true. Now,
Yes.
Tafadzwa, I'll come back to you. Now, critics also allege that ZanuPf has lost some ground, giving some comparisons in terms of the rallies held in preparations for the March by-elections. Your comment.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think briefly I want to address what my colleague has raised earlier on. What is important is that I would have expected that he raises facts as they are. Now, the fact